Welcome back to the Sovereign Renaissance. We're going to be looking at the profound and most infamous topic found in spiritual and psychological circles, and that is the dark night of the soul. You have climbed the mountain of your own making, only to find the summit shrouded in a suffocating, absolute silence. You aren't just losing your way, you are losing the very definition of you. This is not a simple crisis of confidence or a passing shadow. It is the dark night of the soul, a brutal, beautiful, and necessary unmasking of everything you thought you were, designed to force you into becoming everything you always meant to be. The dark night of the soul is a profound, often a painful, spiritual and psychological transition. It is not merely depression or a period of sadness. It is a transformative crisis that strips away everything you believed to be you, ultimately leading to a more authentic, unified sense of self. The term originates from the 16th century Spanish mystic Saint John of the Cross, who wrote a poem titled La Noche Oscura del Alma. While his context was strictly theological, describing the feeling of abandonment by God as a necessary step toward divine union. The concept has been widely adopted in psychology and contemporary spirituality, just to describe a universal human experience. The anatomy of the experience. The Dark Night is characterized by a radical shift in perspective. It often feels like the lights have gone out on your previous life, beliefs, and joys. Deconstruction. Everything that once provided comfort, career, relationships, material success, or personal identity begins to lose its meaning. You may feel a profound emptiness or an inability to find pleasure in things that previously defined you. The void. There is a deep, agonizing sense of isolation. You may feel cut off from others, from your own sense of purpose, and from the light or joy that used to guide you. The surrender. Because you can no longer find the meaning in your old ego driven structures, the process forces you into a state of surrender. You cannot fix or think your way out of it, which creates intense frustration and helplessness. Why does it matter? From a psychological perspective, the dark night occurs when there is a mismatch between your internal reality and your external life. Ego fatigue. The ego, the part of you that manages your social identity and survival, can only take you so far. When the ego becomes exhausted by trying to maintain a narrative that no longer fits who you are becoming, the psyche initiates a reset. The need for authenticity. It is often triggered by a trauma, a major life transition, or a sudden realization of mortality. It serves as a crucible that burns away the false self, the mask you wear to please others or to fit into society, so that your core authentic self can emerge. The stages of the process. While every experience is individual, many people describe a similar trajectory. The awakening, a sense that something is wrong or empty, despite life looking fine on paper. the disillusionment, the collapse of meaning, belief systems, career goals, or personal narratives no longer sustain you. The descent, the most intense period of withdrawal, sadness, or existential dread. The old self is dying, but the new self has not yet been born. And lastly, the integration, a gradual shift. As you accept the loss of the old, you begin to experience a new, deeper sense of peace and a redefined purpose. How to navigate it? If you find yourself in the midst of this experience, it is helpful to shift your view from something is wrong with me to something is happening for me. Avoid suppression, trying to distract yourself or positive thinking your way out of it often prolongs the process. It is a period of feeling and observing and not fighting. Practice radical acceptance. Recognize that the discomfort is a symptom for growth. You are shredding a layer of your personality that no longer serves your development. Seek support. While this is a solitary journey, it is not one that must be done in total silence. Mentors, therapists, or trusted friends who understand the nature of existential inquiry can provide a necessary container for your feelings. And lastly, trust the process. The dark night is temporary. It is not an end, but a transition. The goal is not to return to how things were, but to allow the old structures to fall away so that you can live more in alignment with your inner truth. A note on well being. It is important to distinguish the dark night of the soul from clinical depression. While they can feel similar, clinical depression often involves a chemical or psychological state that may require medical intervention. If you find your despair is making it impossible to function, or if you're feeling overwhelmed, please do reach out to a healthcare professional. The beauty of the dark is that it is not a dead end, it is a canvas. When the dawn finally breaks, and it will, you will not emerge as the person you were before the descent, but as someone forged in the quiet fire of your own depths, finally ready to walk the path that was always yours to claim. And if you liked today's video, please do like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, goodbye.